Good morning, everybody. My name is Osa. We are playing Farming Simulator 22 on Glenleathann, and it is episode 10. We are still on May 1. We are on year 2, and I have been in the process of starting our money-making ventures for year 2. So as you see there's a couple of mounds of what is that? Chaff, grass chaff in the silage bunker. I have made a decision on the Kubota. It is gone. We have replaced it with this, which is a little bit more capable. It can pull that piece of equipment. It can't pull any of the fieldwork machinery. It is better balanced with the spreader. I replaced the windrower with a flat windrower, but this is rear mounted. So, and you drive it backwards. So it's a Valtra only piece of equipment. We are getting into the realms of far too many bits of equipment have to mount on the Valtra, including our seeders, our cultivators and everything else, which means that occasionally we end up in the situation where the only vehicle we have, or the only jobs we have, are those that need to be performed by the Valtra. Not too bad, because we do have now, the Deutz has 40 horsepower more than the Kubota did, and so it's better capable of running all of the things, or all of the other things, should I say. So I am going to, clear the course. We are on this field, it's 6 meters. We'll start work on the center. Gonna do sharp corners counterclockwise. Doesn't matter, we'll go clockwise. Headland overlap, I'm gonna bump that up to about 11. Generate a course. And start over there. And good morning in Patchwork. And thank you for your subscription. I was having issues with courseplay yesterday, so I did turn on the dots. Oh, never mind. We'll just do this anyway. So, as promised, we're ripping up the grass in this field. We have managed to get a cut. Stop. Let's try first waypoint. Do that again. So yeah, I've done, as I said, I was doing something on this field, and the tractor was just getting all sorts of messed up. So I ended up turning the dots back on. We don't need that anymore. And we are on to our second field. We got about 250,000 litres of grass from that previously maize field. So that's about half. Wow. That was a total fail. That's about half of what we got with maize. Not that it's really a worry, but grief, my steering wheel is running very loose by the feels of it. Well, it is what it is. So, had a fairly quiet week this week. Mrs. Osa has been visiting with her sister in Ohio. So I've had to look after teenage Osa. And really that's all doing schoolwork during the day. Doing the rest of her stuff in the evening. I need to fish the tea bag out of the mug. I'm using Mrs. Osa's tea mug because I'm the only one who seems to have tea in the mugs. Because, yeah, streaming, I need a lot of tea to last me an hour or so. And we have a dad mug and a mum mug, and I'm using the mum mug today because for some reason teenage Osa, when she's emptying the dishwasher, will put the clean mug on the bottom and the dirty mug on the top, so I alternate every week. The new windrower is working out quite nicely, I will give it that much. Because it attaches direct to the rear 3-point, it's a lot easier to manoeuvre around these fields which have large hedgerows and stuff that gets in the way. So I'm kind of happy with that. Oh, look. Stuck. And of course this is where I have to turn the dots on so I can see where I want to be. Next waypoint, go. Now that is the nice thing about having 6 meter wide machinery, is it does give me a little bit more leeway when positioning for the next row. It's 3 meter courses can be very, very close and result in the equipment just having a big major problem trying to pick up from where it left off when it has an issue. So it's still got the safety bumper on this one, and I did put the other weight, we kept the other weight for this one. Since Mrs. Osa's out, guessing the first 2 hours will finish off May 1, and then we'll be on to May 2 for further hours that we play. I think the sunset is suitably close to 6 p.m. that we can pretty much run a 12-hour day now. So four game time hours. I did a couple of, actually I did 5 fertilization contracts beginning of May 1. Oh, I am not doing this very well, am I? Let's try this again. Which is where our extra cash came from, because we were down to about 10,000. I did have to top up the fertilizer in the tank though, or in the silo. So there we go. I'm really not looking forward to compacting all of that, but we are going to have to do it hopefully before the end of the day. Trouble is I've still got that field there to row and collect. And I am going to have to take out a short loan to cover the purchase of a planter that goes with our seed tank. So, as is common with these sorts of operations, I get to do all the collecting and stuff while the workers can do other jobs. It would have been nice to keep the Kubota, but really, if I was going to look for another tractor to enhance what we can do, it would need to be a Valtra or a freaking huge Fendt. I think the Fendt 900 has reversible steering, or a Zerion. Either way, we're kind of in a bit of a pickle with all this reverse driving machinery that we have on the farm. Not that I'm complaining. It's working out quite nicely. And there we go again. Yeah, this tree line here is a royal pain in the butt. So yeah, I will keep the at least the blue eye on for the moment while I'm doing this field. There's no easy way around it. Also, I haven't looked at the store sales for this afternoon yet. Obviously I bought the Deutz in the morning because we've already been out for a couple of hours fertilising 5 fields, which is a good thing. Oh. Oh. Interesting. That windrow of grass there appears to be smaller than it was last time. And it happens to fall directly on the windrow. Which I'm not sure. Well, I suppose using courseplay, that is going to be something that can happen quite frequently. Now, when it comes to compacting the silage bunker, I'm probably going to end up using the Deutz. It's not really as heavy as the Valtra, but the Valtra has more work to do. Once we've finished doing all of this, or collecting from that field, I'll be probably looking at compacting the silage while we bring the Valtra back to windrow our last field. There it goes again. Stuck. Oh, not stuck, okay. I'm undecided whether I want to cut that grass field on the right. It's not going to be great yield, but yeah, a couple of bucks extra. good thing. Oh, we'll also need to spray this or put fertilizer out on this field. Maybe. I'll see how far the Valtra's got and how far we get with this, but potentially we could look at coming out here with the fertilizer while we do some Valtra stuff. Don't have to. The fertilizer spreading can happen any time over the month of May. The corn planting has to happen in May, which is why I've got the Valtra preparing that field. Now that I've cleared off all the grass, it's definitely in a position to get prepared for next crop as soon as possible. To cover the cost of the tractor, actually the tractor we completely replaced the Kubota, sold the Kubota, and we bought this with cash, but to get the windrower I needed 90,000, so we borrowed 100. Struggling a little bit here. Obviously the Valtra has a little bit more horsepower and thus better able to haul a heavy load, but this will do at a pinch, which the Kubota just couldn't. Probably going to bite into one of these rows halfway down. Full already. So probably got about 6 more tanks out of here. There's another 180,000 litres of grass on this field. Obviously I did go for the green Deutz rather than the black one that we had last season, or last series. That's not good. Okay. And we've definitely learnt our lesson about not reversing into the silage bunker, or not driving through the silage bunker when you're unloading all of this stuff. Just doesn't play well. Now we don't have a front loader on this tractor either. And that's somewhat of a desire to get a telehandler for most of our front loader work and not use tractors for too much of it. So the younger kids, we went off to, what was it? Off to the Central Michigan Model Railroad open house. They had a really good time and want to go again. She's kind of difficult because club nights are Mondays and Wednesdays. I can't go Wednesdays, but they have school on Monday, so they're not usually with us. And usually if there's a holiday, they go visit the grandparents up north. So they're not around for, most Mondays. But we'll have to see what's what. Then we went out for an Indian meal for Mrs. Osa's birthday. And I had a very spicy dish. And everyone else had something substantially milder. Well, young former foster child decided she wanted to try the hot sauce. And she decided she likes spicy stuff. I mean, that was strong. I have been to one Indian restaurant where I had to ask for raita, which is a yogurt drink, which helps alleviate the hotness in your mouth. Normally I can get through a hot curry, not a problem. So as I said, this was on the hot side. This was on the spicy side. And she liked it, so yeah, there you go. I mean, it's not that big a surprise. If I get, what is it? There's Heinz jalapeno ketchup that I get. She eats all of that. So what used to last me a few months, because I don't usually have stuff you put ketchup on, now lasts a couple of weeks because she dunks all her fries in it. Can't think what else has been going on. I mean, as I said, it's been a fairly quiet week. Is the Valtra still going? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, hopefully I should get this task finished before the cultivator's done. Because that third grass field, the trees at the end do cause the tractors a lot of issues. So I tend to think, or at least cosplay some issues. So I tend to think it's probably easier if I do it. So that will be the plan there. But I need to get, if I can get all of this grass covered and fermenting by what would it be, 4 o'clock, it does mean that we should be able to sell it 4 o'clock in day 1 of June. Okay, go tractor. On the TV front, we decided to pick up a subscription to BritBox because Mrs. Osa likes English comedies, old English comedies. I've taken the opportunity to watching the Sharp series, which is a show in which Sean Bean doesn't get killed. Surprising, I know. I think it's in the contract. He has to die before the end of everything he's in. But this series, not so much. And he's playing a character called Richard Sharp during the Napoleonic Wars, based on a series of books written by Bernard Cornwell, who actually wrote at least one extra book specifically because he was so impressed with the TV show. TV show was a fairly major production for the TV company that did it, so there's only 2 to 3 episodes a season. But the episodes are 2 hours long if you account for commercial breaks, which obviously streaming there aren't any, so hour and 40 minutes. And filmed on location with period costume and period weaponry, which obviously can set you back quite a bit as a production company. And remembering it was a TV show, TV station in the UK that produced it, not some major film studio. And with the books, Bernard Cornwell did, maybe it's Bernard, but Bernard Cornwell did preface every story with a, this is the events that actually happened during this part of the battle for Spain and Portugal against Napoleon. And while the specific events of this story didn't happen, I needed a backdrop to put my hero in, so that's what I've done, type of thing. So a lot of everything outside the specific events of the story, the backdrop is relatively historical. It's not completely historical, but yeah. You want to play a good story, or do you want to do history, which may or may not be fairly boring at times? The regiment existed, the rifle unit existed. The rifle unit was not commanded by Richard Sharp, but we'll take artistic license for that type of thing. I'm probably not going to reach the end here. I've lost count of how many loads we've done here, but it looks like about 3 more. You'll see at the corners of the field there are missed bits. I didn't notice when I set up the course play for this field that I had 6 headlands. So there are 5 or 6 small patches of grass at the edge of the field where the mowers don't follow precisely. But in general, it's better than